Hi, I'm Kristyn, the dietitian, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about books written by dietitians. This is to highlight the importance of what registered and licensed dietitians offer to patients, clients, and their communities. So I'm going to show you those, and also I'm going to offer a prize to those who subscribe to my YouTube channel and my newsletter. I'll put both of the links below. You will be considered part of a raffle to win a book. So a lot of these books I'm going to show you can be purchased online or at a bookstore, but you can also find most of them at your library. But today I want to show you a lot of the books I was able to find at my library. So when you go to your library, if you go to the cookbook section and also the healthcare section, you'll find a lot of dietitian authored books mixed in with books authored by a lot of other people. So what you want to look for are those RD or RDN post-nominal letters to indicate it's written by a dietitian. And then you'll find all throughout the cookbooks, I think different libraries may organize their books differently, but like at my library, the cookbooks are kind of arranged by topic. So it could be based on a diet type. So like you may find Mediterranean diet books. You'll find books arranged by a health condition. So it could be things like diabetes or NAFLD, which stands for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, renal disease, which is related to the kidneys and kidney failure. All of these different health conditions require a specific diet be followed, and so books written by dietitians for these diet and nutrition lifestyle changes are going to be thorough. They're going to be based on recent scientific literature, and so they're going to be really good resources. And then what really gives me a thrill is when you're looking through the new book section and you find books there written by dietitians. Here's another Toby Amador book, and this was in the new section today at my library. You'll also find like family style cookbooks or healthy eating for kids. And really, the benefit of choosing books written by dietitians are that you're going to get information that's evidence-based. This also brings up the question of what is a registered dietitian, right? So when you are seeking nutrition advice, registered dietitians, licensed dietitians, these are the people that have had formal training for nutrition. You are required to get a master's degree to become a registered dietitian. You're also required to do an internship, which includes clinical work, food service work, because some dietitians work in hospital food service, but also community nutrition experience. So all of these things are required to complete an internship. After that, the person will then have to complete an exam and pass it. And after they become a registered or licensed dietitian, then they have to complete continuing education throughout their whole career. This is why seeking out information from a dietitian is going to be beneficial. But without further ado, I'm going to show you the books that I found. They really cover a vast array of nutrition needs and different populations. Okay, so the first book, in no particular order, is a book called The Postpartum Nutrition Cookbook. So this book is written by registered dietitian nutritionists who are also mothers, Diana Licalzi and Ashley Reaver. And I apologize in advance if I mispronounce anyone's name. I'm doing my best. So these would be the two dietitian authors, and there's 100 plus recipes in here, but it also covers a lot of good information on pregnancy, recovery, and lactation. This includes freezer meals, snacks, smoothies, desserts, one-handed lunches, because we all know after you have a baby, you no longer have two hands free for much of the day, especially during those first few months. I think this is a beautiful book to check out if that's the stage of life that you're in right now. The next book I'm going to show you is the Family Immunity Cookbook, and this is written by Toby Amador, and she's actually a well-known dietitian within the circle of dietitians. So she's definitely considered an expert. This is 101 easy recipes to boost health. So on the description on the back of the book, it says that she forgoes the fancy vitamin supplements and shows you how to boost your overall health with ingredients straight from the family fridge. So really an emphasis on trying to get all of your essential nutrients from the foods that you're cooking and eating and preparing. The next book is called The Picky Eater Project. It's coined as a 6-week program to happier, healthier family meal times. So if you have a picky eater in your family, you can get some great ideas from this book. It is published by the American Academy of Pediatrics, but it does still have dietitian authors. So we have Natalie DeGatte-Muth and Sally Sampson. So Sally Sampson was the funder of Chop Chop Kids. I don't know if you've ever seen that magazine. It's no longer being published, but I always enjoyed grabbing that from the library. It was just healthy recipes and healthy eating for children, which was cool because you don't really see magazines or kids shows or kids materials centered on healthy eating. So this gives you advice if you have children where you feel like you're a short order cook, you have to cook different meals for each person, you just have a picky eater, ways to work with your children and help them grow in those areas. All right, so I have another book, totally different topic, and that's the point of this, is to show you that dietitians really have a gamut of expertise and different knowledge and skills to help people. So this is called What to Eat During Cancer Treatment. So while you're going through cancer treatments, needs are very different, right? So a lot of times it's also just managing symptoms, how to get enough nutrition when you're experiencing a lot of side effects from treatments. So this is published by the American Cancer Society, also has a dietitian author. So this is Jean Besser and Barbara L. Grant with the American Cancer Society. Honestly, going to the library and seeing so many books written by dietitians, it just makes me so proud of the profession and just the ways that we can help and serve people through food and nutrition. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of that community. Okay, so there is, I think, a big trend on gut health, right? And this is so important, really. We're finding with new research, we're finding that a lot of health issues can be related to the gut microbiome, right? So what bacteria is growing in our gut. So this book is called Healthy Gut, Flat Stomach, Drinks. So this is a cookbook written by a dietitian, Danielle Capolino, and she has a whole cookbook on drinks. They are low FODMAP. So if you're familiar with FODMAPs, these are different types of sugars that some people have a difficult time digesting and can cause a lot of IBS-like symptoms. So she has different recipes that are considered gut-friendly. So the flat stomach is not necessarily talking about weight loss, right? It's talking about relieving GI, gastrointestinal symptoms caused by IBS-like conditions. Speaking of healthy guts, this book is the Healthy Happy Gut Cookbook, written by Dr. Heather Finley. She is a registered dietitian with a PhD. So her recipes focus on non-restrictive recipes to treat IBS, bloating, constipation, and other digestive issues the natural way, so using food as your medicine. So she talks about everything from fiber to fermented foods, entrees, and also understanding your gut symptoms. So check this book out if you experience IBS symptoms and you would like a little support for your gut health. Okay, so the next book I'm showing here is the Hashimoto's AIP Cookbook. So Hashimoto's is a thyroid disorder. So this is actually written by Emily Kyle, who is a registered dietitian, and also Phil Kyle, who is a chef. So they work together, and this cookbook is meant to promote healing with the thyroid. This is considered an elimination diet. It is like the paleo autoimmune protocol, also known as AIP. which is really meant to help you figure out and pinpoint which foods are triggering your thyroid disease. So this is a very specific content for a very specific disease, and I just love that. I love that we have authors, dietitians who are so knowledgeable about all of these different needs for different people. Okay, so this one is called The Mind Diet for Beginners. It has 85 recipes and 7-day kickstart plans to boost brain health. So this is written by Kelly McGrain, who's a dietitian, and the Mind Diet is really about optimizing nutrition for brain health. And I love that. This is the Mind Diet is very similar to things like the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet, but each of these does have their own unique properties to them. So the recipes in here look really good, and I encourage you to check this out if this is something you're interested in. A lot of people who may have concerns about preventing dementia or Alzheimer's as they age can opt to follow the Mind Diet. Okay, so the next book I'm going to show you is called Real Fit Kitchen. This is written by Tara Mardigan, who is a dietitian, and Kate Weiler, who is a sports nutritionist. And so this book focuses on fueling your body, improving energy, increasing strength with every meal. And it's specifically made for athletes. So athletes have unique needs because they expend a lot of extra energy and may need extra nutrients in terms of micronutrients. So this is great. It has different recipes, including a whole section on food swaps for different meals, beverage swaps, supplements, and pill swaps, which are actually just homemade recipes that can provide nutrients that you may seek out in supplements. I do have another book about pregnancy, but this one is specifically written for women who have gestational diabetes, which is diabetes that is only present during pregnancy. So this is written by Joanna Foley, and she's a dietitian. So this includes quick and easy 30-minute 5-ingredient and 1-pot recipes. Assuming that a lot of moms are busy and don't have a ton of extra time for cooking, this is really helpful. So this book also goes over the diagnosis of gestational diabetes, what to understand about the condition, and it also talks about how to balance your plate. So this is a go-to for anyone who has gestational diabetes. I have another unique book that focuses specifically on gout. So this is a cookbook written by a dietitian. Her name is Lisa Cicierello Andrews, and it's an anti-inflammatory recipe that helps lower uric acid levels. Uric acid is the thing that can cause flare-ups with gout. I have another book related to diabetes. This one, I love the idea of creating books that are specific to different cultural foods. So this is called the Indian Cuisine Diabetes Cookbook. It is specific to people who enjoy Indian cuisine and who need to be mindful of their carb counting and maintaining a healthy blood sugar level. It includes a lot of the traditional savory spices and bold flavors from South Asia, and it is written by May Abraham Friedel. So this is one exception to my dietitian rule. The author May Friedel is a food literacy advocate, author, and philanthropist, and funder and CEO of Organic Spice Company. But it doesn't say she's a dietitian. However, this is published by the American Diabetes Association. Being able to carb count with the types of foods your patient eats is so important. So the fact that it's published by the American Diabetes Association and that there's nutrition facts available for each recipe, including carb counts, calories, fat, protein, all of those good things. Also phosphorus and potassium, which would be super important if your clients or patients also have kidney disease. So this is a great one. There are some pictures in the middle. This one highlights the beautiful spices and just all the different recipes that you find in this book. So this is a great option, not necessarily written by a dietitian. Okay, my last book. This is the only male author that I have in all the books I'm showing today. And that's not on purpose, but it does really reveal that most dietitians are women. So I'm happy to have at least one male author who is a dietitian. This is to help people manage GERD, which stands for gastroesophageal reflux disorder. In short, It's to help people who have reflux, which often presents itself as heartburn. And it's written by Andy DeSantis, who is a dietitian. So on the back of the book, his description says this book will help you manage symptoms such as heartburn with a practical long-term approach, which includes following food guidelines. So I hope you can see that dietitians have a wealth of information, expertise, different areas that they can help you with in healthcare. So a lot of these books are recipe-based. You can also find a lot of information-based books written by dietitians. I recently checked out a book about PCOS, which is now called PMOS. And there's also chapter books written about things like perimenopause, diabetes, pre-diabetes. These are all great resources, and I hope that you take advantage of using them. The best way to tell if a book has been written by a dietitian is to look for RDN. So RDN stands for Registered Dietitian Nutritionist. You may also see it written as just RD. This stands for Registered Dietitian. They mean the same thing. For some books, the author's name will just say Registered Dietitian. This got cut off a little bit by the library sticker. Once in a while, I've noticed some authors that are dietitians don't add their title. So what you can do is also just read about the author, either in the back of the book or the inside of the front cover. But this you'll see here. If she had not put RD, you could also see she wrote she's a registered dietitian in New York City. So those are all good ways to make sure that you're actually reading a book written by a registered or licensed dietitian. Check these out at your library. I will also put links below to all of these books that I highlighted today, but keep in mind there's so many more books written by dietitians out there, and there's always new ones coming out too. If you have a favorite book authored by a dietitian, please also share below in the comments. So I have a special book that I am going to give away as a prize. And this book is the Complete Food and Nutrition Guide, written by Roberta D. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she is a registered dietitian, and this is published through the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So to win this book, look how thick it is. It's got almost 800 pages. This is a comprehensive book, so it has a little bit of everything to help you get jump started on healthy eating and nutrition. The way that you can win this book is by subscribing to my YouTube channel and also signing up for my newsletter. So I send out a newsletter every time I publish a new video or blog post, just to keep you informed. And I really think that this would be a great addition to anyone's home library. This is just full of a ton of good information, and it is a lot of reading. So, but you can always focus on the areas that mean the most to you, that would provide you with the most benefit. So, anyways, if you are already currently a subscriber to my YouTube channel and or my newsletter, you will still be considered in the running for this prize, because I do appreciate those who have already been supporting me and following me. So don't worry, you're not excluded from this. And then I will keep you all updated on who wins.